Well, hello, folks. This is Real Honesty with John Ritland. I'm John Ritland. This is Cassie, and we are here to bring some news that I'm sure everybody's heard by now. I was at work at the time when it happened. Gene Wilder, great comedian, great, pretty good actor. He did a few serious things, but he did a lot of good stuff, a lot of iconic roles, especially for comedies. Passed away today at 83, complication from Alzheimer's. Easy for me to say. Um, I was a fan of Gene, but I'm going to turn it over to Cassie for a bit.
So, Gene was born in June 11, 1933, as Jerome Silverman. He was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Jerome?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I
By
think
26, Gene Wilder became his screen actor name.
it's okay. I'm just like Jerome.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
At the age of 26 is when he decided to go with Gene Wilder. So,
Wildman would have worked too. Honestly, would have worked.
He's survived by his fourth wife, Karen Boyer. They were married for 25 years.
Jesus,
My respects go out to you, Karen. Yeah. I know this must be a hard time for you. I thought maybe the two of us could talk about some of our favorite movies.
I mean, really, the only ones that leap out to my mind, I mean, the producers, the original, not the stupid remake.
The Mel Brooks version?
Yes.
That was actually one of Mel Brooks' first movies.
It doesn't surprise me because Mel Brooks, to be fair, not all his comedies were fantastic. Most of them were. Dracula Dead and Loving It was not very good.
That was actually not Gene's first movie, though. He did a movie about Bonnie and Clyde before that.
Yeah.
And that was his first real acting that he had done.
He did TV stuff early in his career. He did TV stuff later in his career. He only has 37 credits to his name. He really kind of tapered off in the mid-'80s. But the producers would be one that leaps out in my mind as, being funny because Gene Wilder's comedic timing. That was one I really enjoyed.
I loved Blazing Saddles, Dr. Frankenstein.
You mean Young Frankenstein?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he was Dr. Frankenstein is what he was in there, but...
and, of course, Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, I would...
Boys, look at what we have here! Where are the white women at?
So Gene Wilder said that, or that was the black guy?
That was the black guy.
See, admittedly, I was never the biggest fan of Blazing Saddles. Gene Wilder was funny in it, and so was I don't remember the black guy's name for the life of me. I'm sorry if you're still alive, black. Not that you're gonna see this, but you were very funny in that movie.
He had that undeniable chemistry between Mel Brooks, though.
No, he did. It's
kind of like if I had to describe it, it's kind of like Johnny Depp with, what's the director?
Tim Burton.
Yes, Johnny Depp with Tim Burton. That's the only other way.
Or Spielberg and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Or Spielberg and Aliens. So many goddamn aliens.
That undeniable chemistry that when two of them were together making a movie, you knew it was going to be fun. I
mean, Young Frankenstein. I mean, the producers, we talked about that. Young Frankenstein is one that leaps out in my mind. He just... You had to ham it up in that movie. One, it was a comedy, obviously. You had to ham it up in that movie.
Oh, Cloris Leachman was great in that movie.
What great? That's true. She was in that. That's right. That's
that
right.
was one of her early roles. That's the one I always remember Cloris Leachman for.
What big knockers. Thank you, doctor. It's like, jeez. It's like, I mean, but see, not too many directors, especially at that time, could get away with it. And the fact that it was in black and white, which, to be fair, black and white movies by that point had very much been phased out. Like 60s still did. No, it did. My point is that at least in this sense of work.
I can't imagine it being the same as it was if it was in color.
No.
You couldn't have the same feeling of it.
You didn't get the sense that the movie went on like, way too long, and of course Gene Wilder and the monster, and I forget who played the monster, but
it's the same thing with Blazing Saddles too.
Somebody played the monster in that movie? Or are you talking the comedy?
I was talking about Headley Lamarr.
Okay, all right. No, that's true.
Headley.
No, and see, Gene Wilder just had this knack, and of course we have to get, though, to his best role. Or maybe not his best role, but his most iconic.
Willy Wonka?
Yeah, where, look, I love Johnny Depp, I love Tim Burton.
Where he brought that world of pure imagination alive for us.
Not pure inebriation. Family Guy had to do it. No, and you're right. The thing about the movie is there was just so there. It had the perfect setting of like being colorful, and I mean, obviously, it could only be made in the '70s with the amount of drugs that people had to have done, especially for that boat scene.
But still.
No, not the actors. I mean the producers of the movie is what I mean.
I feel Gene really brought that book to life.
Oh no, he did. He did.
You could not. I love Johnny Depp in it, but he did not bring the same character to it as Gene.
The thing is also is Tim Burton tried to be darker with his, which Tim Burton darker.
Don't touch a squirrel's nuts; it makes him cranky.
You're really weird. Anyway, but yes, Gene Wilder could you couldn't have cast anybody else in that movie. He played off of everybody well. The fact that he nailed the initial flip into the front flip, whatever he did, he nailed it in one take. I mean, if that doesn't mean that he was destined for the role, I don't know what does. That right there just showed. And I mean, there's obviously many quotable lines, whatever, the snozzberries taste like snozzberries. I mean, there's that. It's like the suspense is crazy, or it's like, I forget what he said about the suspense. Suspense is unbearable. I hope it'll last. I'm like, yes, right there. It's like Charlie and his granddad, and they're going up in the elevator. It's like glass will shatter. We'll be cut to a billion pieces, perhaps. Just didn't care. He just had this wide-eyed, childlike wonder about it.
The best scene I can remember from him is in Blazing Saddles when he's doing the gun flip.
Yeah.
When he's like does it really fast and everything.
I mean, it wasn't like watching, Indiana Jones 1 where Harrison Ford, like 104-degree temperature, just shot the guy just instead. And then you see Harrison Ford in, Indiana Jones 4 where it's like, God, Harrison, just sit down, please. Anyway, but no, back to Gene Wilder. Yeah, Blazing Saddles was an iconic role for him. He did, the hell was it? The hell was that movie that he did with,
Richard Pryor?
Yeah, Pryor. Stir Crazy. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot what it was. Him and Pryor played well off of each other. That was really about one of the last big roles that he did. I mean, so...
I had read in, going back to his Alzheimer's, one of the good things was that it was reported that even in his 80s and his late stages of Alzheimer's, he still remembered his close family members. He never forgot who they were.
That's at least something. That's because I had my grandpa didn't remember. I mean, he sort of remembered me, but he was also 97.
My mom's going through it right now at 51, so...
See, that's kind of why I wanted... Well, two reasons. One, she liked Gene Wilder more than I did. Nothing against Gene Wilder, but it's just you liked his movies a whole lot more than I did. They spoke to you more. And because of how he died, I'm like, yeah, the kind of guy I have her sit in on this. So... The thing is, so basically the movies he's known for, producer, Stir Crazy, one later in his career, Willy Wonka, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles. And of course he did other movies too. Those would be ones that would leap out of my mind. Willy Wonka in particular, when I saw it's like, if nothing else about Gene Wilder I'll remember that. And I'll remember stuff from Young Frankenstein. So anyway, rest in peace, Gene Wilder. We're going to close with a quote, aka she's going to.
This is a quote from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It really speaks about him dying and everything. When they're going through the tunnel and he says, "There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going."
And with that, we wrap up the show. So, see you later. Rest in peace, Gene.